Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Hey, Boots Ennis better leave Teofimo Lopez alone. He better leave him alone. I'm telling y'all. Yes, leave that boy alone. He a real one. I know what all that racist rant and stuff like that. Hey, that's one thing. When I'm talking about boxing.
And see, that's the one thing about these boxers. Oh, I know about the racism. Do you? Because you ain't spoke on it. But you quick to jump out the window on this with a smirk on your face. Man, I tell you, dog, these athletes is something else, man.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'm here to tell y'all, he got what it takes to beat Boots Ennis. Man, the two most athletic fighters in the game. Damn, if they was to go head to head. Woo-wee. Yeah, Boots got all the attributes. He got the height, he got the long arms. But you know who got the better timing? That's Teofimo Lopez. You know who's athletic? Who was the last athletic guy that Boots fought? Karen? Karen was the last one? Yeah. And don't think that Boots gonna be able to out punch him. Don't think that. No, he not. Because you go back, you watch that Claggett fight. That boy Teofimo Lopez, he got some lungs too. When he full-fledged and hungry, he got lungs too. He threw almost 1,000 punches in that fight. Yeah, Boots, I see you. Your numbers is quite high. You around 600, 500, 600, close to 700 sometimes. But guess who can match that output? Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, Boots. All them little lapses you be having, you ain't gonna be able to have them lapses with Teofimo Lopez. Oh no. That dude is on his game. When he right, when his mind right, it's hard to beat that dude. Explosive, smart. He got a high IQ as well as you do. So look, hey, I'm letting y'all know. Eddie Hearns, if you listening, I'm telling you, if you don't want your guy to get beat, stay away from Teofimo Lopez. You want to give him a couple more fights before you fight that guy? I know Teo is moving up to 47. I get that. Yeah, y'all gonna say the power and all that. Oh, I get all of that. But like I told y'all.
But besides that, we just gonna go ahead and talk about Teofimo Lopez versus Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I watched Teofimo Lopez's last fight, him and Jaron remind me of each other. Essentially, they have the same style, except Teo's a little bit more well-rounded and Teo has better footwork, but basically the same fighter, you know? And when I watched them fight, I was like, you know what? Him and Jaron would be interesting. Two highly athletic, highly active, physically gifted fighters. That would be an interesting match. I must say, you know, I would like to see it. As far as Tim jumping out the window, as far as he is for Teofimo Lopez, doesn't make no sense. You know, because Teofimo Lopez hasn't consistently put up a performance that make you think that he could be dominant over Jaron Boots Ennis. However, Teofimo Lopez does have the potential to beat Jaron Boots Ennis. That ain't no lie. But anybody has a high potential of beating Jaron Boots Ennis with the gaps that he has. And when people say they'll beat Jaron, they're just looking at his lack of defense and the shots that he would take. And a lot of people say, well, he ain't gonna take that shot coming from me. And they right. You know, but that's what people are looking at. But to think that Teofimo Lopez is somehow grades above Jaron Boots Ennis, and Jaron Boots Ennis would be coming out of the dark to challenge Teofimo Lopez, meaning he's at some type of deficit? No. At this point, Jaron is up. Jaron has been, I would have to say, he's probably been the most active, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got to be more active than Teo. And as of right now, he's the fresher guy. You know? So, Teo being that much more talented or having that much of a gap between them is simply not true. If anything, it's a 50-50 fight that's truthfully a 60-40 because I believe that Jaron mentally is tougher than Teo. Teo can crack. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, he can crack at any moment. You could tell that. You know what I'm saying? He's teetering on his last hoorah, and he knows that. So that's why he's desperate, clinging to this, trying to cling to that, trying to do whatever to grab attention, wearing a Rey Mysterio mask, saying some prejudice crap, always keeping fighters' name in their mouth, being extra loud at the press conference, trying to overtalk people, always trying to steal the spotlight. He desperate, you know, because he know what time it is. But my thing is this: for Tim to not have addressed the racism with Teofimo Lopez, for him to jump out the window on Jaron Boots Ennis in front of the world, it's just not a good look unit-wise. Let's say you even felt that with the way that he's been acting, he doesn't deserve for you to give him that type of accolade over Jaron Boots Ennis, who is a fighter in which he's always trying to downgrade. And as I can remember him saying, quote unquote, ESPN can keep the black fighters. With something said like that, you don't want to get in front of the public and look like you siding with Teo in any type of way. Now, that's my personal opinion. Even if you do feel like that, just because the example of what he's doing is wrong and you saying this is how you achieve a fight or whatever and whatnot. Well, what fight does Teo is trying to get with those type of antics? Because quiet is kept, when you observe Teo, he's done nothing but avoid black fighters. He talk about the black fighters, but he don't want to fight them. We seen him bitch up when it comes to Terrence Crawford. We seen him bitch up when it comes to Keyshawn Davis. We seen him bitch up when it comes to Devin Haney. And if you ask me, if Teo was in Jaron's position, he wouldn't pay attention to Jaron. Don't forget how he acted after he beat Lomachenko. Okay? If Teo was in Jaron's shoes right now, he wouldn't entertain Jaron. He wouldn't entertain himself. Straight up. He'll just end up doing to Jaron what Teo did to Devin. You remember when Devin was trying to get a fight with him? And Devin courted him and his father and made him agree that after fighting Cambosis that they was going to fight and all that other stuff. And then the next day, Teo backed out of it. But he supposedly want all this smoke and all this other stuff. He keep black fighters' name in his mouth, but he really don't want to fight him. So what is all that racial rant really for? It's not to get no fight. It's just that he realized that that type of behavior has its awards in this sport. But if you just talk about quote unquote fighting, yeah, Teo got the potential to beat Jaron. The only reason why I don't think he beats Jaron because I think Jaron at this stage would just be a little bit more mentally tougher. But Teo definitely got better footwork. Teo's definitely a better, well-rounded fighter. His defense is a little bit tighter. So I can see why people want to say it. But if you're not going to fight this dude, do not be entertaining a fight with him going back and forth. Because the only thing you're doing is primarily what he wants is to keep his name surfacing and to keep his name alive. And I'm going to end it with this. If you think about it, what's going on with Teo, if you think about it, when you put on a stellar performance like that, because Teo did put on a good performance, however, it's nothing less than what we know that he's capable of. So really, he didn't raise an eyebrow. He just somewhat operated of how we know he's supposed to and what he can do. You know what I'm saying? So we know that he got the talent. Let me ask you a question. Why would you want what you say and what comes out of your mouth or your racial rhetoric to overshine your performance? That's exactly what Teo did. Instead of talking about his performance, we end up talking about what came out of his mouth. Now, Tio directly did that to himself. Why wouldn't you want to ride off the coattail of your performance? You have a performance like that, which was good, and then come around and totally smother that performance. Nobody's literally talking about it. They just talking about what you said. That's because he realized that although he put on a good performance, nobody was talking about T.O. They was talking about Rolly and Devin's performance. They said, yeah, T.O. had a good performance, but it got overshadowed by Ryan's fight and Devin's fight. That's all people were talking about. People really didn't talk about T.O.'s fight, although he put on a good performance. And T.O. seen that. He like, I put on a good performance and they still not talking about me. So he opted to do something which was going to grab attention, because evidently putting on that stellar performance wasn't good enough. It's very simple. Put it together. With a performance like that, why would you want something that you said overshadow your performance? You're a boxer. Because what, nobody talking about it. Right after Ryan and Rolly fight and what went on there, and the way Devin Haney fought, which people couldn't figure out, people completely left out and glazed over Teofimo Lopez's fight. They recognized that it was a good fight, but beyond that, nobody talked about it. So T.O. did what he did in order to get some attention. You get it? But does he really want to go this route and stuff like that? Well, if you pay attention to his track history, evidently he doesn't. Because Keyshawn wanted that. You seen him apologize to him on stage. You seen Terrence Crawford. You just seen Devin Haney. So it looks like all T.O. truthfully does is clout chase. And when you get people like Bradley to come out and say, ooh, he need to leave Teofimo Lopez alone. Teofimo Lopez just came off, like 3 shitty performances. And he just had one good one. And all of a sudden it's, woo, he better leave that boy alone. The dude that just got rock socked and dropped by Cambosis. Woo, he need to leave that boy alone. But he's so much, but he's so much out of Jaron Boots Ennis league. Nah, man. Tim just have something over there with Jaron Boots Ennis team and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I see what they talking about. Sometimes I think he being real, but now I think he being facetious. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, you can tell. You know what I'm saying? Because they jump on his ass because he say certain things. And sometimes I have Tim back because he do be telling the truth. But this right here, this Pettyville shit. You know what I'm saying? And this just goes to show you why you can't put your trust in these damn athletes, because they'll let you down every time. Ain't no way in hell you supposed to get in front of a camera at this time with what T.O. said and go against Jaron in any form of fashion. And this is coming from a person who does nothing but criticize the shit out of Jaron. But nonetheless, I understand group politics, I understand group sports, and I understand what being on code is. These athletes, forget about it. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.
Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Hey, Boots Ennis better leave Teofimo Lopez alone.